There's a war going on, the books can't escape from the team. Call the morning steam, it's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
All right, and a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Sunday, March 9th. And we're here on time, early, late, I don't know, but we're ready for Sports Betting Day an hour earlier here on our spring forward. The last time we'll ever change clocks, what they're telling me. We're going to be stuck in daylight savings time because they don't even know what they want to do. Do they want it early, late? Do they want it dark, early? I'm not even sure. But we're going to be getting ready for our summer baseball time and all that. But we know we've got today NCAA tournament action, mid-majors today we'll talk about, as well as NBA and NHL. And how'd you do yesterday? Hope you caught our live stream, companion stream last night for UFC 313. Got a little wonky there at the beginning with those cancellations. And how did you guys do with that card last night? I couldn't find all the winners there for sure on the main card. I came through with a few winners, but I didn't really think the results were in my favor last night. I got lucky with Santos on the preliminary card. I had Leal to win by knockout. I had Van to win, and then I had Rufy to win, and I had Lemos to win, but I couldn't find a winner in those last three events. And how about the main event last night with Pereira going down to defeat there to Ankalaev in the main event. Impressive performance by Ankalaev. Really good strategy there against Alex Pereira, and earned himself the belt last night. And hope you enjoyed the live stream with the guys here on the Sports Money Network. Thanks for joining me in here. This will be prediction, even though Sunday's our big day, probably our least viewed Sunday, maybe because maybe everybody will show up, but you want to get that extra hour. I get it. I didn't want to get up an hour early here. Well, I did, but I didn't, if you know what I mean. So how'd it go for everyone here yesterday? I'll say hello to everyone in the chat. We'll run our show with college basketball. See who's here, who got here early. James Parm here today. Thank you, James. Hey, everyone. Here's my right-hand man. He's my Ed McMahon. Thomas Lewis says, like this video, subscribe to our channel. Give it the thumbs up. Hit that like button. Comment, share, subscribe. Sports Money, the fastest growing channel for sports betting on YouTube. Joe W is here. Blue Lotto Dee Dotto Die is here. Jermaine as well. And College Station's back with us today. Nice to have you here. And that's it for now. Like I said, going to be a little bit slow going here, so maybe we can talk about a few games from yesterday, but got a little steam coming in here right now to start us off here on a Sunday. There have been a few moves here today, but we're involved here. Not all the games are tournament games. Charlotte is taking some steam right now in their matchup against UTSA. Charlotte was a 1-point dog, and they're moving to a pick'em here. They may even end up favored here in this one against UT San Antonio. And we'll preview, of course, of those championship games today and the semifinal games in college basketball. Maybe we'll touch on one game today. If you had to look at one game that still has some meaning in the conference season. North Texas could finish tied atop the American there with a win, and they're a 5.5-point favorite against Temple. So, all right, we got soccer action underway. I've seen a couple of goals here in the last few minutes with Bologna and Verona from Italy, and also I've got some action here in Spain with Atletico Madrid and Getafe going at it right now. There'll be 2 games in Major League Soccer today as well. English Premier League set to go off top of the hour with a couple of games, including Leicester at Chelsea, Bournemouth, and Tottenham. And the featured matchup today, the Sunday night game, Arsenal and Manchester United at Man U. Arsenal favored in that one by half a goal at minus 140 total, 2.5 under 40. Other games today as well included in Germany. All right, and France. So, all right, let's see here. We got Mr. Tomatoes here. Good morning, hello, and Doubles as well is here today. All right, a couple of teams punched their tickets yesterday to the NCAA tournament. One of them did it without even having to win their tournament, and that would be, of course, as we mentioned yesterday, the Omaha Mavericks. Omaha and St. Thomas will meet for the Summit title tonight, but St. Thomas is not eligible to go to the NCAA tournament because those archaic rules that they have. So Omaha already celebrated. They were doing, they were dancing in the locker room. They were doing wrestling moves on trash cans, if you will, following their win over North Dakota. The game was tied at halftime, but the Tommies went on to win it, and Omaha ended up smoking South Dakota. So they might be playing that one in the Sanford Pyramid, but there ain't any Dakotas left when it comes to the Summit tournament. And of course, Omaha is in because of the victory there for St. Thomas getting to the final game. St. Thomas ineligible for the NCAA tournament. So Omaha is in there. So one other, there were some other games out there, but the real first official team into the tournament was Edwardsville with that 69-48 win over Southeast Missouri State. We picked Edwardsville to win that tournament on the record, and they're the first team in, and they dominated in that one. How about games we didn't necessarily cover, though? Big games weren't included in our tournament action yesterday, but Alabama over Auburn 93-91 in that overtime thriller. Auburn has lost 2 in a row here right now. Sears had that game winner at the buzzer. St. John's over Marquette in overtime. St. John's wins it, and they win for the 16th time in 17 games. St. John's, Big East champs, but they were faced with a tough task there yesterday against Marquette. They won the game. They were getting the points, and they prove again. That starts to show me that this St. John's team can run deep in the NCAA tournament for sure. Also, some other interesting wins I saw. Pepperdine wins again, second 9 in a row. They were 1-8 in their last 9 games, came into the tournament, and they'll play Santa Clara tonight. And in the SoCon, underdogs 3-0 straight up. Only VMI could manage the victory there yesterday. VMI, they practically have no bench, but they got the win 64-57 over Greensboro. Drake in the final in the Missouri Valley. How about the Missouri Valley? They continue to go under in the Missouri Valley practically every game right now, and they did so there yesterday in the win by Drake over Belmont, 57-50. Drake has held their last 7 opponents to 61 points or less, and Drake goes to the final where they will meet of course, Bradley, who was able to topple Valpo 70-65. Valpo led by 11 there, but the Braves rally to face Drake here today. That one also another under in the Missouri Valley Conference. All right. Let's see what else. Kansas over Arizona as Dickinson had 33 points in a big game. Arkansas State over Marshall. So Arkansas State advances in the Sun Belt. With that, they finally reached the semifinals of the Sun Belt. So we'll get to see those two teams that got the byes all the way to the semifinals there. Notre Dame over Cal, 112 to 110 in 4 overtimes. How about that one? Burton, 43 points for Notre Dame. Indiana went out with the win, 66 to 60. Went out in the regular season anyway with that win over Ohio State. We had the double play winner yesterday with that game. We said go with Indiana and the under. And we also had the double play winner. Man, I need to do this more often with Kansas against Arizona and the over. And we got that one done as well. Duke got the money against North Carolina in the 2 shades of blue. Arkansas was able to edge Mississippi State 93 to 92. And also in the Coastal, 3 of the 4 underdogs won as well, as only Drexel was a favorite to win. So we'll continue on with our games today in college basketball and get ready for a few more teams to punch their tickets to the NCAA tournament. All right, now let's see who else is here. Justin is here. Robert is here. And you can get my plays for today over at winnable.com. I should have a nice package of plays going out today in major sports, including college basketball, NBA, NHL, and we'll also have some other sports I'll probably try to take a look at, including college baseball, women's NCAA tournament basketball, conference tournaments, and right now loaded up over on my free Winnable subscription package. I have today's NASCAR race with the Shriners Children's 500. Get my top 6 drivers for the race today. Who I perceive as the best value drivers for today's race. My top 6 plays over there, not necessarily the predicted order of finish, the ones that I think have the best value to play in. Not only who's going to win the race, but top 5s, top 10s, top 20s. You might want to look at some groups, some manufacturers, some matchups. You can get my best plays over there at winnable.com, including the Shriners Children's 500 today over there at Winnable with that free subscription. So check that out. Definitely handicap the race here today on our modestly short card with college basketball anyway. Maybe it's about the same volume. There's the address and there's that promo code. Appreciate all the subscribers there. We got a couple, a good number of people signed up over there for the action over at Winnable. So thank you to everyone who is subscribing. I really do appreciate it. That's what keeps me coming back here to do this show every day. Okay, let's get going now. We're going to start with college basketball again today at your suggestions. I think it's a good call here to get all fired up and ready. Oh, I want to cover some winners yesterday is what I want to do there. Mostly just maybe some of the tournament winners that we had yesterday here on the show, including a sweep in the Northeast Conference. We had St. Francis here on the show yesterday. We also had Central Connecticut and Fairleigh Dickinson game to go over as our winner here on the show. We also swept the Big South Conference semifinals. We had Radford here on the show yesterday, plus the points against High Point. We also had the winner with Winthrop and Asheville game to go under in that conference tournament winner. We also had Elon and Drexel to go over yesterday in the Coastal. Also, we had Missouri Valley under with Belmont and Drake, and under with Valpo and Bradley. We had the unders, right? We went under in Missouri Valley. And Summit League winners, we swept that conference as well. South Dakota and Omaha. I had the over here on the show yesterday, and also had the under in the North Dakota and St. Thomas game. I also had the winner in the Ohio Valley Championship. I had Edwardsville to win over Southeast Missouri as an underdog here on the show, and I also picked them to win the conference tournament. So Edwardsville does it also there. So good day on the show yesterday with our NCAA tournament picks. So let's do tournament picks today, as I just watched Bologna finish off Verona here in Italian League action. More Italian League action coming up here at the top of the hour with Fiorentina and Napoli. Napoli, a 1-goal favorite at even. Okay, let's go to college basketball. Oh, we got a few more people in here. Let's see here. Nuke is here. Like it, smash it. Thank you, Nuke. Appreciate that. And also should be a good final in golf. Live Golf overnight. Sergio Garcia was a winner in the event at Hong Kong this morning. All right, let's see. Jarrell says somebody gets a free buffet. I don't know. Was that me? Did I pick something right? Did I get a free buffet? I thought I owe the buffet. I owe you, Terrell, whatever it is. I owe you multiple buffets for your great contributions here in the chat. And Nuke says he had a little Drexel yesterday, and we're ready to go in the Coastal today. We won't be previewing the Coastal. They're only in the quarterfinals, and, well, we can't preview them all here, but let's start with what we've got and what we know in college basketball here today. With started off here. All right, get this one started right now in the Patriot. What about the Big South? Where's the graphics? Here we go, Big South. Let me get my notes over here. I didn't even know what game we're starting with here, and I do the graphics. All right, Big South action here with Winthrop taking on High Point in this one. What a season it's been for High Point. They've won this series this season comfortably, winning both meetings 88-66 at Winthrop as a 3.5-point favorite back on February 15th. They also won at home 84-62 over Winthrop back on January 25th. They've really blown them out in both times this season, but Winthrop's still a pretty good program, man. I mean, this Winthrop team, they're usually the team that is usually in position in the conference here, in this conference anyway, and great program, right? But this has just been a magical season for High Point, and their 28-5 record off the charts, man. But Winthrop still 23-10 this season straight up, and they've been a good spread team. In fact, Winthrop's been the better spread team between these two teams. Winthrop's covered 8 of their last 10 games coming into this one. High Point's covered 7 of their last 10, so give them credit for that. But overall, Winthrop 17-13 against the spread this season, so pretty good numbers for Winthrop, at least covering these numbers here. So, but High Point getting a lot of attention for sure from bettors here. 7.5-point favorite, maybe even 8 here at some spots right now. Yeah, a lot of 8s. I want to say almost all 8s out there, except for DraftKings hanging on there with a 7. Winthrop is 1-7 straight up as an underdog, so it's going to be tough enough to win this game, but it does feel like they can be competitive here in this one. Winthrop is also 1-7 to the under as an underdog here. And you look at these Big South tournament games. Look at this total at 160. I mean, I get it here. When you got anytime Winthrop's playing, maybe you'd think over there a little bit. They were 18-12 to the over this season. That's what makes that 1-7 mark to the under as an underdog so interesting, I guess, is the only way that I could put it. Now, single digit favorites in Big Sky tournament play are hitting about 62.5% over the last 8 seasons. And also, they've gone 7-2 in the last 9 championship games in the Big South Conference. So I think High Point's going to get the public's attention here. I don't know if I can do it and lay it. Let's go to the chat, though, and see what you have here in this one with Winthrop and High Point. Big number here. I guess it's supposed to, carry out this way, but still a championship game. All right, maybe James going first half over here. Justin says, I got to roll with this Winthrop team. Thomas also here. Cash Kane says, I'll just take High Point on the money line. Winthrop for Nuke also. And Blue likes the over here in this one. Robert likes the under. All right. Well, I'm going to have to go with the under here. I feel like that's the key for me, is that very interesting record, right? Winthrop is 17-5 to the over as a favorite, but 1-7 to the under as an underdog. So I'm going to have to take the under here in this one with Winthrop and High Point. Hey, good morning to Solo. He likes High Point to get this one, laying that money. The move's on High Point for sure here. All right. Appreciate that. And what did I say about those favorites there? Okay. All right, I think that's it. I think we got the picks from you guys in the chat in that one. So let's move on to the next game here. And now we'll go to the Patriot in the semifinals here of the Patriot, with Navy taking on Bucknell. Bucknell 6-point favorite here in this one, maybe 5.5 now, 139.5 here. Bucknell was my pick to win this tournament, not a number 1 seed here, so not a pretty chalky pick from me. I just think they are the best team in the conference. I've already been knocked out of a few conference pools with a few underdogs anyway, but here I went with the number 1 seed, Bucknell. They're coming in here pretty hot right now. And let's see here. I got Hampton coming in with a little bit of steam. Let me get a steam move in here just to have a little fun in the Coastal. Hampton is taking the steam here right now at a plus 8.5, plus 8 or so. It might move to 7.5. Hampton taking the steam. The steam already came in that game on the under at 139.5, moved to 138.5 here. Also, USF is getting steamed right now. San Francisco in their game against Washington State. Washington State had consistently taken the early money, but now USF is getting hit once again at -3, -3.5. They're probably going to go back up to 4 here right now. USF taking the steam in the quarterfinals of the West Coast Conference tournament tonight. All right, for Navy and Bucknell, you got Bucknell here going 8-2 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. But these are 2 decent teams against the spread for sure. Bucknell 11-8 against the spread as a favorite. Navy 12-7 against the spread as an underdog. A little bit more steam right now coming in right this second on College of Charleston in that game against Monmouth. Another Coastal move here in the Coastal tournament, the last game of the night. College of Charleston was a 6.5 point favorite. They're up to 7.5 here right now. College of Charleston taking the steam in the matchup against Monmouth in Coastal tournament play tonight. All right, Bucknell here and Navy. Bucknell 18-14 to the over this season. I think if you look at these Patriot League games right now, I don't know if we necessarily perceive this team as an over conference necessarily, but these totals, when they've been lined as high as 139 or higher, they've been kind of going over in those games. Now, this one's pretty close, but nonetheless, these Patriot League games with totals at 139 or higher started this tournament at 75% over the last 9 seasons. So here we are again with another one right now at 140. So I'm probably going to end up on the over here in this one with Navy and Bucknell. Right now it is 140. Pardon me. Let's take one. Give me one moment. All right, I might be good to go now. That extra hour is not going to kill me, is it? Apparently, the time changes are the worst thing about that's the health aspect is what they talk about. All right, I've got the over here in this one with Navy and Bucknell. Does seem like Bucknell's been great. Navy's done a pretty good job here against the spread for sure. Like I said, 12-7 as an underdog. I think this number might be a little bit tough to get actually, but I'm going to just stick with the over here. Kind of ride that these Patriot League tournament games are a little bit higher scoring than I don't know, maybe than you might expect, but give me the over. All right, a few comments here from you guys. Let's see what we got here in the game between Navy and Bucknell. All right. Thomas is on Bucknell, but Justin went with Navy. Nasty Nate had the Celtics in the big game against the Lakers last night. We'll recap it a little bit there when we get to it, but good fun game there last night with the two teams and the highest ticket of the season, they said there yesterday. Average ticket price was the highest for the season, and the cheapest ticket to get into the game there was in the Nasty Nate range, $600 for the cheap seats in the Celtics-Lakers game last night. Blues on Bucknell. Cash Canes on Navy. Terrell likes Bucknell to win by double digits. Charlotte here for Thomas on that other game. And James Parham likes the over. Robert's on Bucknell. All right. And Nuke likes daylight savings, right? But unfortunately, the president here, he likes standard time. So I don't even think his supporters know that he likes standard time because they're out there saying, hey, all right, daylight savings time, let's go. But really, the president of the United States likes standard time. He wants it darker earlier. Okay, let's continue on here. And then the next, we'll just keep in the Patriot is what we'll do, but won't go in time order. Once we hit that conference, if it's a semifinal, like a couple of these, we'll just do the other game. So you've got Colgate taking on American here in this one, with American favored by 1.5, and the total 137.5 here. A good competitive game with Colgate taking on American. Man, American, can you believe it? 20-12 this season. Number 2 seed here comes in with a couple of wins here. Including their tournament win over Lafayette, 71-69. They did not cover, laying 4.5. Colgate got the money easily in their win over Army coming into this one. American, not a great favorite, 5-9 against the spread. Both these teams have struggled against the number here a little bit. Down the stretch, it feels for me like Colgate. You look at the season series between these two. American won both meetings and got the money. They won at Colgate by 8 as a 3.5-point dog. They also won at home in January. They were a home dog by 2.5, and they won outright 81-77. So American's done a pretty nice job against Colgate. We can go to the chat here and see what you guys think on this one. Here we go. Colgate for Cash Kane. And Terrell likes Colgate, I think. Thomas likes Colgate. And Justin likes Colgate. James Parm likes Colgate. Wow, a lot of Colgate action here. All right. I guess I better make my call here in this one. Man, could I really be swayed here? Colgate 13-18 against the spread. This season, not great numbers for sure compared to American. American hasn't been, like I said, they don't have great numbers there either, but Thomas has a pause. I had a dramatic pause there because I knew that Thomas would say Colgate consensus play here in this one. And again, you have another one where Colgate as an underdog, a dramatic 3-9 to the under as an underdog here. These teams kind of trend over. American 17-13 to the over this year, but Colgate, like I said, 3-9 as an underdog to the under here in this one. Both the meeting at home for Colgate was an under, but the game they played at American actually ended up as an over. So, all right, I guess if you guys are going to pick the side, I probably should pivot to the total. And I've got this one going under here with Colgate and American. All right. A little bit more steam coming in here right now with Northern Arizona and Montana. Got some steam here in the Big Sky today. And this one, steam to the under here right now, was 147.5. We're down to 146.5. Steam go to the under. The move is on the under here with Northern Arizona and Montana. We don't have that one in our preview since it's just haven't even gotten to the semifinals here yet with their format in the Big Sky. They're playing the second round over consecutive days. But I will mention I do have Montana to win that tournament. There in the Big Sky, so they are favored in this game over Northern Arizona. My pick was Montana to win the tournament. So you can see I did take a few outsiders, long shots, if you will, here, including in the Big Sky, like Montana to win the tournament. I like their price anyway. We know that there's some pretty good teams here in the Big Sky. Montana kind of on the outside looking in, but I took them to win this tournament. Also, Michigan State took some steam here this morning. They were a 7-point favorite. They got steamed here up to 8 or so in the matchup against Michigan. Still a big game, even though it's been decided in the Big Ten. Michigan and Michigan State here today in the big game in the Big Ten today. I didn't preview it because of the fact that Michigan State has already clinched, but do want to note this steam that came in there on Sparty. Also, let's see, where's the next one here? Let's go to the A-Sun final. This is a championship game with the winner headed to the NCAA tournament with North Alabama taking on Lipscomb here in this one. Look, Lipscomb, good team, probably pretty popular here, but North Alabama is not bad. They're the number 2 seed, 24, both teams, 24-9 coming in. Lipscomb's winning streak's a little longer than North Alabama's. North Alabama's won 4 straight. They've covered 8 of the last 10 games. North Alabama's 21-10 against the spread this season. Lipscomb's just 14-15 against the spread because they always get plenty of respect. It feels like North Alabama is kind of the team that is a kind of a newcomer to the scene. It feels like a little bit. So let's see here if you got a pick in this one with North Alabama and Lipscomb here in the Atlantic Sun final. You're getting all nice little points here, down to 4.5. It was a little bit higher. It was Lipscomb -6 or so, maybe even 5.5, but mostly 4.5s here right now with Lipscomb favored against North Alabama.
System play.
And this game, it says versus there. That was just an error on my part. I mean, of course, this tournament plays the game at the number 1 seed. So Lipscomb is actually the home team here in this game. Interestingly, though, however, the home teams in the Atlantic Sun tournament have not fared very well. They're hitting just 35% in this conference tournament since its existence, pretty much. So that's against the spread. So really tough for these favorites to even cover. And you got a North Alabama team obviously doing a pretty good job here. And also single-digit underdogs in the Atlantic Sun are on quite a roll right now, hitting nearly 67% over the last 9 seasons in this conference tournament. All right, let's see what you got here.
Steam play.
Steam coming in right now. West Coast Conference tournament play tonight. Pepperdine and Santa Clara. We're seeing the steam come in here on the under. It was 156. We're down to 155. It originally went up. Now it's starting to move back down with a little bit of steam here with Pepperdine and Santa Clara. All right, Lipscomb and North Alabama here for the Atlantic Sun final. Get your pick here in this one. And I will do so as well. Let's see what we got from the chat. It's going to be Thomas here on North Alabama. Jim Casey says, how about can Chicago get it going here and they better get it going soon. All right, let's see here. Nuke on North Alabama. Blue is on the under here. Robert's on North Alabama here. Terrell says Lipscomb hits this one by double digits, but Cash Kane is on North Alabama. So we've got two-way action, it feels like, from the chat kind of in this one, it feels like, doesn't it? All right, James Parham, North Alabama. And I'll take the under here in this one with North Alabama and Lipscomb. Give me the under. Okay. There's Thomas on North Alabama. Maybe there were more North Alabamas for sure. Only a couple on Lipscomb. Terrell was on them, and maybe North Alabama was kind of a consensus. Yeah, you're right, Thomas. Yep, I thought so. All right, you guys like what I was saying, or you guys probably like, you had your own opinions, but like I said, these single-digit underdogs in the A-Sun big time here over the last 9 years. They come through almost 2/3 of the time. Cash Kane says Lipscomb wins, does not cover.
Steam playing.
More steam coming in here right now with action here with Southern Conference. Let me see. I might have this one next up. I better just mention it, though. VMI and Wofford steam here to the under in this one with VMI and Wofford. It was 139.5 down to 138.5 right now with VMI and Wofford here on the morning steam. And yes, we are. No, let's go to the big game of the day. Come on. Missouri Valley Conference here with Bradley and Drake. I do have Drake to win the conference tournament. Again, not a big shocker or big surprise here necessarily, but I do have Drake here with their incredible season, 29-3 coming into this game. But Bradley, they're still hot and they're still Bradley. Come on. We know Bradley, been there, done that type of team here in the Missouri Valley. Drake doesn't have as much consistent success in the postseason, but this is a special team this season for sure. They're not a total surprise for the most part, right? Their spread record isn't exactly terrific. They're just 10-13 against the spread as a favorite. The secret's been out a long time on Drake. They didn't cover in their game against Belmont. They were favored by 7.5, but won by just 7 here. In fact, they've failed to cover in 3 of their last 4 games. Coming into this one, Bradley, meanwhile, they also failed against the spread yesterday against Valpo. But I don't know, Valpo looked pretty live to cover, right, what we talked about in that game. Bradley won the last meeting back in February, 61-59 as a 5.5-point dog. Drake won and covered the first meeting in January. Drake had a winning streak against Bradley before Bradley won that last game by 2 points. So Drake has been incredible this season, no doubt about it. But Bradley is still a very, very fine program and going to be live here. The totals in the Missouri Valley Conference are kind of the story, right? We already talked about going into the tournament, how these unders are always coming through right now. And usually the total's a little bit higher than this. This is a result of Drake being, as I said in the monologue, they've allowed just 61 points or less in their last 7 games right now in conference play. So if you look at it that way, I guess the highest score it could be would be like 125-121 if Drake won by the spread here for the most part, or something around that. 125, 121. What am I saying? You know what I mean. 60, maybe 65-60 here at most if it were to go over. This one's already been knocked down from a send out of 124. Maybe a lot of the openers were 121 here for the most part. But here's the thing: in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game last year, the score was 84-80. Okay, Drake won, remember, over Indiana State. Indiana State was favored in that game. Drake won. Now Drake's favored here in the championship game. That game went over the total for sure, 164 points. But that was the first time that the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game had gone over in 11 years. So we already talked about Arch Madness. There's something about the games in that building in St. Louis that, they talk about these backgrounds. I don't want to say the backgrounds. I think it's, a talked about storyline all the time about the shooting backgrounds, especially when you're talking about the smaller arenas of the Missouri Valley. But still 11-1 now in the championship game in the Missouri Valley Conference over the last 12 years. Will that continue here in this one? Okay, let's see what we have in the chat here. I'm going under, obviously, here, but look, there's no value. I'm giving it out as a free play on a YouTube sports betting show because it feels like the air is let out of the ball. The air is let out of the play. Everyone's on this under because we've been talking about it all week, and now we've arrived at the championship game, and all the games are going under. Just like they are in the Summit Conference. And the Summit Conference, remember, plays overs usually. I mention it because the team that just came in the Southern Conference is in, and it is on the under in the game between St. Thomas and Nebraska Omaha. Steam to the under here. It was 152. We're all the way down to 149.5 here in the Summit League. The high scoring lead, the Steam is coming in on the under right now. Okay, Bradley and Drake. Let's go to the chat. Thomas is on Bradley. Cash Cane's on Bradley. Nuke's on Bradley. This is a lot of Bradley. It's a lot of Bradley. Hello to Textiles today. Blues on the over here. Drake and Terrell wants to see Drake in Houston with a total of 79. Roberts on Drake. Curtis is here. Hello, Curtis. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for stopping by. He's on Bradley as well. So Bradley, maybe almost a consensus. I don't know. There's some Drake. There's plenty of Drake in here. You got Robert McCormick and James Parham on Drake. You got to respect a couple Chat All-Stars here on Drake in this one. But like I said, yeah, Bradley, pretty popular here. But, man, Drake, this is a special seat. Let's hope that maybe Drake could be that magical team here, right? It feels like, you guys remember when Butler would make it to the finals against Duke, right? It doesn't feel like we can do that anymore in the age of NCAA tournament. It doesn't feel like in today's landscape of the NIL that's not going to happen ever again. I think the superpowers are going to be too powerful in the future, and I don't know if the teams like Butler or Drake, my San Diego State team got there just a couple of years ago. I don't know where you'd categorize them, but I did hear some great comments last night, and if Gravy's here, he saw them too. I know he liked them, but Sonny Vaccaro, the great mastermind of the coaches wearing the shoes, the AAU, the amateur tournaments, he said the NCAA will be done in 5 years when it comes to basketball, and that each team will have its own. They'll be more like businesses, kind of like professional teams and organizations, and they'll all team together to make national TV contracts, share in all the money. That sounds like the mid-majors will get left out, though, but we'll see. He's usually right about a lot of things, including paying players and everything. He was kind of said that one day that was going to happen, and that's kind of the way it went there, right, when they started paying the coaches the shoe money. All right. College Station says maybe a little bit of Drake action in there. Jim Casey says, you know what? Yeah, but when you run it by the regents, right, of those schools, right, are they really going to want to come through and put the money forward for sports? Probably not. Okay. So that's going to be a good game. I called the game of the day right there, didn't I? Let's go to now. All right, let's head over to the SoCon here. I'm out of the SoCon here from yesterday. My team is out of the SoCon. Take a look at the results yesterday, because I had Samford, and they lost to Furman. So my pick is out of the SoCon tournament here. But you do have Furman taking on Chattanooga here in this one, with Chattanooga a 3-point favorite. This one's at 4 Eastern and 1 Pacific time. Both teams come in with a 24-8 record, riding winning streaks coming into this one. Chattanooga has covered 8 of their last 10 games overall coming into this one. Both teams pretty good in this role. Chattanooga 12-9 against the spread as a favorite. Furman 6-3 against the spread as an underdog here. In the Southern Conference tournament, you get to these semifinals, and the totals here are on quite a big run in the SoCon tournament. Over the last decade, the conference tournament semifinals are over 60. Let's see here, 15-7 for 68.2% over the last 11 years in the Southern Conference semifinals. And I think that's where I'm headed with this one too, with Furman and Chattanooga. I think they're just consistent over teams for the most part, especially Chattanooga. 13-7 to the over as a favorite are the mocks here. So I'm going to take the over in this one. The last meeting was 85-72, 157 points as Chattanooga won by 13, covering 5.5. Meanwhile, for the first matchup in January was just 146 points here, but it did go over 144.5 as Chattanooga won that one as a 4.5-point dog.
System playing.
So give me the over here with Furman and Chattanooga in SoCon semifinal number 1. See what you guys have in this one. Some steam just came in a few seconds ago on the matchup between East Carolina and Florida Atlantic today. Steam to the over here. It was 153 up to 154 in that season finale today. All right. Let's see here what we've got. Thomas is on Chattanooga. Nunya had Samford with me to win the tournament. And Curtis said, give me over in the Chattanooga game. And Nuke's going to play the final.
Final.
All right. I think that's going to do it for that one in the SoCon. But let's look at the next one here right now with VMI taking on Wofford here. And you got Wofford, a substantial favorite here, 9.5. Total down here to 137.5 in this one with VMI and Wofford. So a little bit of a move on Wofford here and a bigger move to the under. VMI's won 2 straight here in the tournament to make it here to the semifinals with a win over Citadel and then the big upset over Greensboro yesterday, 64-57. VMI is 19-9 against the spread this season, 14-9 against the spread as an underdog. Wofford, meanwhile, just 7-10 against the spread as a favorite here. VMI, let's see here. Wofford won 82-43 at VMI in the meeting in December, but VMI did win at Wofford 74-67 as an 11.5-point dog back in January. So they did spring a big upset on them earlier in the season. So they obviously know how to play well against these guys. It feels like still losing at home to them by 39 points can't be too great, but nonetheless, here they are in this situation. Wofford was just 17-15 during the regular season straight up, and VMI just 15-18. Let's go to the chat, see if there's any picks here. And let's see. No, nothing for anybody here in the Sun Belt in the second game of the SoCon. So let me make my pick here in this one with VMI and Wofford. I'm going to take the under here in this one with VMI and Wofford. Robert's on VMI. Okay, he's there. I was gonna see if anybody went VMI. Nunya's on VMI. Thomas is on Virginia Military Institute. And I might be on them as a premium, but all right, let's keep it going here. We got a couple more, and then we'll be on to the NBA, but we've got more action here with the Sun Belt semifinals. So now we've got the two top seeds in action. They here they're another one of those tournaments where you get those double buys here, and you got South Alabama. Now, Arkansas State is favored here in this one by 5 points. This one goes off at 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. Arkansas State was a 3.5 point favorite. Look, I'm on South Alabama to win this tournament, so they obviously have got to win this game as an underdog in order to win this tournament. Another one where I kind of went with an underdog here to win it. Now, South Alabama's got a tremendous defense. I mean, they are really, really solid defensively for sure. They're a top 20 team in scoring defense. They're a top 10 team in field goal percentage defense. So against an Arkansas State team that, yeah, they definitely can produce some points here, but the total still here reasonable, 137 in this one. So let's see here if you guys are kind of seeing it the way I am here in the Sun Belt with Arkansas State and South Alabama. Talked about, the teams that get the buys don't really do that well. They are, definitely subpar, but, South Alabama and Troy, it's funny that Arkansas, ends up being a favorite here, despite the South Alabama here with the better record. But let's see what you guys have in this one. There is some, concerns here, obviously. Let's go to the chat and see what you got here in this one with, all right. VMI is a consensus play. How about that? Okay. All right, and I gave out the total, so there we go. All right, Robert's on South Alabama. Robert's on the under. Cash Kane says Arkansas State. Lay those points with Arkansas State. South Alabama 6-2 against the spread as an underdog this season. Hey, we mentioned that SoCon game, and I said I liked the over in the Furman-Chattanooga game, but the steam is coming in right now on the under just moments ago. Steam to the under here with Furman and Chattanooga. It was 146. We're all the way down to 144.5 here right now with Furman and Chattanooga. It's going the other way on me. All right, next up, go to the other game now in... Oh, did I give out my... Let me make sure I got my play there. Let me go back to the Arkansas State, South Alabama. I thought I said it. Let me make sure, though, I said the right thing. All right. And like I said, I'm on South Alabama to win the tournament, so I'm not going to fool around there. I'll just take my chances there as like a kind of a money line play there. Got to win it anyways. So give me the under in this one with Arkansas State and South Alabama. Man, that does feel like my premium, though. I got to be honest here. I like South Alabama, too. Of course, I have to. But, man, I really do like this under. Should have made it a premium. It's a freemium here right now, Arkansas State and South Alabama. I got to go under, man. South Alabama 10-19 to the under this season, including 1-7 to the under as an underdog. Arkansas State 10-16 to the under as a favorite. And look at the nature of this game, man. That's a freemium. I like that under big time. American just got steamed right now in their matchup with Colgate. Hey, Team Steam consensus went with Colgate, but right now the Steam's coming in on American. They were a 1.5 point favorite. They're going to go up to 2 or 2.5 here right now. American getting steamed here. Also, Washington State and USF. We already talked about that steam that came in on Washington State. Now it's coming in on the over. It was 147.5. We're up to 148.5. That was pretty much the original number after the first move. So steam right there to the over with Washington State and USF just came in a few moments ago. All right. Got a few more comments in the chat, and then we'll keep it going here. Appreciate it, everybody. Okay. Oh, Thomas says Colgate was not. He went back and reviewed it there, or what does he say? Or no, he doesn't want to put it in there on the Steam. Is that what he's saying? Okay, Tommy, you let me know, Thomas. Everybody was excited about Colgate. I know there were, were there an American or two in there? Did anybody take American?
Steam playing.
Winthrop is getting steamed right now in their matchup. Steam is coming in on Winthrop right now in their matchup today. It's Winthrop in that Big South championship game. We already mentioned it. I liked the under, but Winthrop is taking the steam right now. They were +8. They're down to +7 here. Winthrop just got steamed in that championship game. Okay. All right, we're having a great time here. Also, North Texas and Temple steam to the under in that big game today. We said North Texas trying to get that share of the title. Steam coming in here on the under. That's, North Texas and Temple. Even though North Texas is an under team, Temple we know is an over team there. So the Sharps are taking their position going under here at 135.5 down to 134.5 right now. That's a big time contrast of styles, isn't it? When you think about it, Temple, big time up tempo, higher scoring team. North Texas, we know, can keep it low. So we'll see. It's a big game for North Texas today. They're favored on the road. All right. So let's see here. So we got the pick in. I'm on the under here with this one. And let's see here. Nunya, thank you there. Appreciate that. And let's go to the next one here real quick with Troy and James Madison here in this one with Troy, another favored team here, 2.5. So you've got both the teams that got the buys all the way to the semifinals, meaning they got those, they got the double buys. They're waiting around. They're not playing games. And now they're both underdogs in this one. Now, again, like I said, the teams that have gotten the buys have not been profitable. They've actually been a failure against the spread over time here, really over the last few years since they've been doing this goofy bracket here in the Sun Belt. But nonetheless, you got Troy here favored by 2.5 here, I guess, right now. And it's down to 2, 131.5. Big move to the under here for sure. We'll call it 2, but you got to think 131.5 here with Troy and James Madison. That steam came rolling in on the under here in this one for James Madison. They're 20-11. Troy is 20 and 21-10 coming in here right now. So Troy 1 game better. Troy on a 4-game winning streak here. They had to play, of course, against Old Dominion. They won and covered yesterday to advance. They've won and covered 4 straight games right now, have the Troy Trojans. For JMU, they are coming in here off of a loss against North Texas. That stopped a 4-game winning streak coming into this one. But Troy, the much better cover team for sure here. They are 18-10 against the spread overall. Troy also 15-7 against the spread as a favorite. James Madison just 1-6 against the spread as an underdog coming into this game. So interesting numbers here. Troy, the much better spread team in this role than JMU here. Let's go to the chat. Another one of these small favorites in the Sun Belt, man. These teams get it done. Coming into this tournament over the last 7 years, favorites in the Sun Belt of 4.5 points or less are 30-16 against the spread, 65% coming in. And then you got some real positive numbers with Troy as well in this spot. JMU obviously earned the bye here, but let's see what you've got in this one. Troy and James Madison. And Nunya says, I'm always going with my Troy Trojans down here in Alabama. But Robert says, I got to stick with JMU. Good morning to Joe. Great job from the guys yesterday with the coverage on the live stream. We're sweating out some fights, and Joe was watching my San Diego FC win 3-1. We've got 2-0-1 record so far. Never lost a game in Major League Soccer, San Diego FC. All right. Think that's going to do it for that one. Oh, I'm on Troy. I mean, come on. I'm on Troy. Nunion's on Troy. Plus, I just gave a bunch of examples why I might be on Troy here, right? Like I said, 15-7-1 against the spread as a favorite against the James Madison team, 1-6 against the spread as an underdog. And these small favorites in the Sun Belt are hitting 65% over the last 7 years. So, or last 9 years, or let's see, 7 years. So give me Troy in this one. Here we go. Next up, let's go to another final here. This is we've already talked about it on the monologue. Now, do you want to play the storyline here in this one? Thank you, St. Thomas, for knocking off those Dakota teams back to back and giving us the berth. Nebraska Omaha's in the NCAA tournament. Whether they win or lose this game, it doesn't matter. Omaha's in. St. Thomas cannot get in. So what does Omaha do? Said, you know what, St. Thomas, we're going to the NCAA tournament. We just celebrated. I saw it on the news or on the sports last night after the game. Omaha, they're doing the wrestling moves in the I think it was because people were calling them garbage, right? So they said, hey, you think we're garbage? The guy jumps off the table and does a suplex on the garbage pail. So they're celebrated. They're already stoked, man. They're going to the NCAA tournament. What does St. Thomas have to play for? This game right here. They can win the conference tournament with a win in this game, and why wouldn't they here at the Sanford Pyramid in Sioux Falls, South Dakota? Come on. St. Thomas is going to win this game, and they're going to crush them here over Omaha. Omaha will, be all thankful for St. Thomas beating those teams. And, hey, maybe if they were motivated and they needed to win, Omaha's had a pretty good run of it. Maybe they would be able to beat St. Thomas if they needed to in the matchup, but they don't. They don't need to. They're already in. So let's see if you subscribe to this theory here a little bit. I don't know. I could read you the numbers. The numbers would point to Omaha. I would think, in the most part, if you want to talk about, teams that cover the spread anyway, Omaha seems like the better cover team here in this matchup against St. Thomas. But let's see what you've got. Omaha's 21-12, coming in. They're on a long winning streak. St. Thomas has won 4 straight with tournament covers here over Denver and over North Dakota coming into this one. Meanwhile, Omaha, of course, they rocked South Dakota yesterday, 100-76, and they beat Missouri Kansas City as a 4.5-point favorite. Omaha's a great cover team, 22-9 against the spread. St. Thomas, pretty good, 17-12 against the spread, 14-8 against the spread as a favorite. I think the fact that Nebraska Omaha here is the number 1 seed and they're an underdog kind of points to the story that I tried to weave here a little bit. And that's not an unpopular tale. This is probably what this tournament game is all about here today with this St. Thomas team and all that scoring. If you think about the Summit League games and all those overs, and now all the tournament games go under, maybe this one would be the one to go over because there is no urgency here where, the Summit League is the highest scoring league. They've got no defense and they're not very good, but a little bit of breaking news here right now just coming across. I'm not going to play the breaking news banner, but it's a neat story, I think, here at this point. And we knew it was going to happen, but Eddie George has been named the head coach of Bowling Green. So great. I think that's great. George, the former great running back, Ohio State, and NFL running back, becomes the head coach at Bowling Green. That one looks like being made official here this morning. All right, so Summit League has been all unders, as we said so far, right? And they went all under last year too. So will it continue here? The steam's already come in on the under in this one. I kind of caution a little bit and say, you know what? Maybe the under, they can play those regular seasons, a bad conference with bad defense. We don't make fun of them too much. But maybe now where the urgency just isn't there, maybe both teams feel like we can play one of our typical Summit League high-scoring, or, still an important game for these guys, even though I'm not belittling it at all. But let's see here what you got. I'm going to take St. Thomas and just make it easy there for me. And Joe, you guys are talking about my San Diego FC. I talked, they gave up just 1 goal. I think this team is above. Well, I'd say they're above average defense for sure, but I think they're way above schedule here early, playing the type of defense that they are. It's almost scary, really. I don't want to get too overworked on this team, and they're playing without Lozano, but they've got other guys. This team is the schedule hasn't been the toughest. Well, they played the Galaxy, obviously, but St. Thomas spread for Cash Kane. And Nuke says, I still want to go out with a bang here. Robert likes that under. That, like I said, Summit games had such high totals. If anything, down to 149. It's almost like the books are already onto this big time, right? I mean, this tournament has been gone under for basically 2 consecutive years every single game. St. Thomas money line here for Thomas. And right, Duke says, who would you take if it was to go right? Probably take Omaha, but now can I really do it there? And another thing that Sonny Vaccaro said, now I find this one a little bit harder, but man, Sonny Vaccaro's not wrong usually, but he said the NIT also in 5 years will be no more. It's just such an institution. Could they really do it? What's going to happen here is the NCAA is going to swallow the NIT. This is based on what Sonny Vaccaro was saying and I'm putting my own spin on it too, and I agree. They've already talking about the tournament expansion.
Final.
The tournament will expand, and the reason it will also expand, one of the reasons is, as I've seen a goal here, it looks like right now in the Italian league game here for Napoli. But there's enough players, hopefully, to go around at least those big teams anyway.
Final.
So that's why the tournament will expand big time. It's going to expand big time, not just the old 68, not the more towards 94 or whatever they're talking about. And they'll just swallow up the NIT and put them in the NCAA tournament with a bunch of buys. Those teams would have to go crazy and win like two extra games. All right. Omaha for Nuke here. He still thinks Omaha, take those points though too. All right. And I'll take St. Thomas, however. I'm going to stick with the storyline there. Action Jackson likes the Tommies. All right. We've got a couple more here real quick. No, that's it. I'm done. Thank you, everybody. Great college basketball games. Again, the one game I did mention that probably has the significance, probably should have got a preview. Of course, North Texas and Temple today. If North Texas wins, they can share. But that was really the only one out of those other. There's some nice games. Don't get me wrong. Michigan State. But let's just stick to these and get rolling here. Go to the NBA. All right, and we're not even looking at them all in the NBA. I think we kicked one or two of them off here because of the, Utah and Philly. You're out of here. Here we go. Let's go to the NBA right now. Action Jackson likes North Texas in that game. All right, NBA here. Gonna run these down.
Still playing.
Let's start with the big one. Start with one of the biggest games of the season here right now with the Nuggets and the Thunder in this one. Now look at the spread. It does kind of indicate here. And hey, the Nuggets, when you see the Nuggets spread like this, right, you know how this one feels like it's going to come in a little bit. Now, there has been a little bit of buyback here maybe on the Nuggets. Maybe they will give a great effort. You don't ever doubt that they can give a great effort on a moment's notice. Navy is taking some steam here right now, by the way, in that game against Bucknell. Navy was getting 6, but it's down to 5 right now. Navy taking the steam in that Patriot League semifinal that we previewed. Okay, here we go, though. Denver and Oklahoma City in the nationally televised early featured game here on Sunday, right? And yes, I mean, well, what can you say about Jokic just coming off one of the greatest performances in the history of the league? Winthrop and High Point here really quick, some steam to the under. That was what I gave out when we previewed that Big South Championship game. Now it's getting steam to the under here. It was 160.5, and now it's down to 159 or so. Winthrop and High Point going under. All right, so here we go. I'm trying to spit out the preview here of this one. But look, Jokic coming off that incredible performance last game, record-setting performance. Talked about it, right? The Nuggets and their best player goes off and has one of the most historical games in league history, but it needed overtime just to get that. Yeah, he might have had the help of the overtime. Meanwhile, the Thunder were without their MVP candidate, and they still rocked in their last game. So who's the real MVP here? OKC and Denver, the top 2 teams in the West. It's OKC coming in here red hot. Denver's lost a few here along the way, but they've won 2 in a row right now. Did not cover the spread, but Denver still 8-7 against the spread as an underdog. Oklahoma City, one of the best spread teams all season long. They're 36-22 as a favorite coming in here. And, that's what it is for me. It just feels like when you see Oklahoma City, look, I don't know, it was a playoff game. Would it be 8? Now, Jokic is on the injury report today for sure, as he has an ankle injury, but he is probable. Jalen Williams has been upgraded to probable for Oklahoma City, but they have some players missing here. No, they're all in now. Looking at it, Lou Dort's probable, Holmgren probable, Hartenstein probable. They're all in here today for Oklahoma City. Aaron Gordon, he is that dude. He's probable here for Denver as well. So just real interesting here. You can take Denver with all these points, but man, it does feel like they like to take games like this off. Sometimes it feels like to me. Denver did win the last meeting at home, 124 to 122, but Oklahoma City had won before that. So, all right, chat, you got anything here in the big game today? Denver and Thunder. We've got Action Jackson on the Thunder. Thomas is on Denver here.
Final.
And I think that's it from you guys in the chat. Ooh, steam coming in right here in the championship game of the Atlantic Sun. I said I like the under in that game, and here comes the steam on the under. It was 144 when I gave it out. We're down to 143 or lower here right now in North Alabama and Lipscomb ASUN Championship. All right, OKC is the better team, Thomas says. Robert's on the under here in this one. And look, it's kind of like this, right? You've got two teams that kind of go over this season for sure, but the steam's coming in on the under here. Yeah, the last meeting went over, but these two teams are going to be feeling each other out, so to speak. That's the worst cliche. I always get mad when people say that, and I just said it, but maybe they don't want to tip their hand, I guess you could say here. Top two teams in the West, they could meet, obviously, in the finals or before. Steam coming in right now on the under in the game between Navy and Bucknell, Patriot League semifinal. That one I recommended the over, but the steam just came in on the under. It's going to 139.5. It feels like right now, Navy and Bucknell. Okay, and Terrell says on national TV they'll get the blowout. I agree. I'm taking the Oklahoma City Thunder to win and cover here. Look, I'm pretty warm right now. On the Morning Steam NBA picks, give me Oklahoma City here in this one. All right, we saw Nunya. He wants to take KD, getting all those fantasy points, but right now the Suns are taking on Dallas in a game that, oh man, you feel like you want to kick this one off the schedule, but look, Dallas is still 500 here, even though that might not for much longer, it feels like. The Suns are a big favorite here on the road with Dallas tail spinning out of control here at this point with this bad run of losses. They've lost 4 in a row. They've failed to cover, and even more than that right now, but still going up against Phoenix, 12-24 against the spread as a favorite here, but Dallas is in a bad way right now. Suns are actually up to 8 here. For Dallas today, you've got Prosper is out. Washington is out as well. For Phoenix here, Morris is out. Monty Morris is out. Exum questionable for Dallas here in this one. Teams met back in December. Dallas won at Phoenix, but that was a different time. Now it feels like, where do we stand here with this situation? Let me update this with Phoenix here now, -8. And the total here is 228. Let's move down a little bit. There we go. All right. Phoenix has been going over a lot on the road. They're 21-11 to the over on the road. Dallas 21-15 to the over as an underdog. Got some steam coming in on the under right now in the game between Colgate and American. That's one that I recommended the under on, and the total's moving lower here right now. Colgate and American. It was 137 or so, I think, when we recommended on screen, but it's all the way down to 135 here right now. Colgate and American steam to the under. Okay, so Suns and Mavs here. Steam came in on the Suns, drove it up from 7 to 8. The Steam came in on the under here with this one. And let's see if the chat has anything here between these two teams today.
System play.
For the Mavericks here, oops. There we go. For the Mavericks here, when they don't have Kyrie, this is where they really start to struggle. Here they go 2-12 against the spread without Irving in the lineup. This series has gone under in 6 straight games right now. See what you guys want to do in this one. To me, the Sharps are going to be going the other way. I believe the Sharps are going to want to take the points here and go over, but got to respect that Steam too. All right, let's go to the chat. I might need help on this one. I don't like this one. Cash Kane likes the Suns. Nunya talking about KD. He is great. All right. Guess I'm going to have to make the call here for me. And I'll take the Phoenix Suns to win this one on the road and cover the number. Phoenix, absolutely terrible against the spread, but Dallas, with all these woes that they have right now, I'm going to take the Suns to rack up a big win here. If they're going to be favored by 8, obviously we're expecting them to be out there and win this game, certainly. So I'm going to lay it. Yeah, I don't like this one. Thanks, Nuke. All right. The Grizzlies and the Pelicans here in this one. The Grizzlies, we've already put them out to pasture, despite the fact that they're still 39-24 this season. I think we've kicked them out of the playoffs already this season. But here it's going to be another tough game against the Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans have lost 3 in a row right now. Haven't covered a game in about 2 weeks at least here at this point. But the Grizzlies are kind of in the same predicament. Now, the Grizzlies did just beat Dallas 122-111 and got the number to snap that long losing streak they were on. They weren't covered in the numbers either. They're just 1-8-1 against the spread in their last 10 games. Still, this season, they're the far better cover. They're still one of the best covers in the league as a favorite. 25-16 as a favorite. 18-11 against the spread on the road. But I don't know if I like their situation here against the Pelicans today, laying these points. The Pelicans are bad too, and they're missing Boston tonight. But for the Grizzlies, Luke Kennard's doubtful. Aldama, he's out. We know that Jaren Jackson's been out now for a week or so. So in this one, I'm going to grab the Pelicans here and take these points against the Grizzlies today. Look, I think Memphis can probably win this game, but maybe the Pelicans will be live on the money line. I'm going to take a shot with the Pelicans here in this one, plus these points at home. Memphis is struggling to cover any numbers, so Pelicans are 16-14 against the spread at home. So give me the Pelicans here in this one. Maybe this is where the Grizzlies can take advantage of a bad team and kind of repair things here a little bit, but I'm not going to do it. Thomas is on the Pelicans here. Justin says Grizzlies, team total over. Thank you, Justin, for being here. Also, Justin went with Suns game to go over. Cash Kane on the Pelicans, and Robert likes the over in the Memphis and New Orleans game. The widely reported steam did come in on the over. It's up to 239. What do I have it at? Oh, that's just a typo. That's just a typo. Bam. Sorry about that. I had it 239 there. Yeah, just typed it in wrong. There we go. All right. So, yeah, that widely reported steam came in on the over. These two teams have combined to go 75 and 51 to the over this season. Memphis is 22 and 9 to the over on the road. New Orleans is 29 and 19 to the over as an underdog. So, yeah, give me New Orleans, though, here in this one. And Bournemouth has just scored here against Spurs, it looks like. Atletico leading over here, 1-0. All right, got a lot of great games here. Germany underway. All right, and Jermaine says he wants the Suns team total over. A couple more in the NBA. This is the other big game here, right in the NBA tonight, with the Cavaliers on the road against the Bucks, favored here big by 9, and the total here 237 for those Cavs. Man, they take no prisoners. They don't care how many points they're laying; they'll still cover it. It seems like time and again right now, nobody's stopping them. Now, they have failed to cover in their last 2 games overall. They lost. They beat Charlotte by 1 point. They beat Miami by 5. They failed to cover in both those games. So, and they're starting to lay some numbers here that are a little bit unattainable for the most part. The total here at 238 now. It's gone up a point or so. There we go. I mean, meeting back in December was 124 to 101 in favor of Cleveland. In November, Cleveland lost to the Bucks 116 to 114, I believe it was. There, as the Bucks picked up that win in Cleveland. Now, Milwaukee, even though these two teams would tend to trend over, especially Cleveland, 37 and 20 to the over as a favorite, Milwaukee is just 6 and 12 to the under as a dog coming into this one. So let's see here with Cleveland and Milwaukee in this one. Definitely feel like the injury report pretty clean here. You do have Milwaukee with Trent questionable here, Connaughton questionable, but Giannis is good to go here in this one. In fact, the spread right now, no, it's 9 everywhere. So we can go to the chat and see what you have in this one with the Cavaliers and the Bucks. A great game here tonight. Cleveland's won this 13 straight games coming in. They've covered the spread in 6 straight games on the road when they've had rest advantage over their opponent, much like they do here in this one against the Bucks. Milwaukee's gone over in 4 straight games. They're 19 and 10 to the over on the road. Okay, chat, let's see what you got here right now. With Cash Kane, Cavs, smash. And Thomas likes the Cavs here in this one. Jim Deweiger's here. He likes Bucknell today. Justin likes this one to go over. And if Justin likes the over, I'm going to like the over in this one with Cleveland and Milwaukee today. I'm going over with Justin here. All right. And let's see here. College Station, like it looks like in Cleveland there as well. Good morning to Donut. Today, talking conference tournament action yesterday with that Radford game as we talked about. Yeah, how about that Donut, the Radford game yesterday against High Point, that it moved all that way, right? And High Point still won, but Robert's on the Cavs. Thank you, Nukes. Smash it and like it. And let me see here. Thomas says Cleveland's a consensus. Okay. Wow. Okay. So consensus play on Cleveland. I'll take the over. I took the over. So we got a little double play action there. Spurs and Timberwolves here with the Wolves in favor in this one, 11 total, 233.5 here with these division foes tonight. You've got Minnesota here, maybe a little tick too high, but still San Antonio just 2-9 against the spread right now on the road. Minnesota here, look, San Antonio kind of tail spinning a little bit now without Giannis, 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 games, 4-11 against the spread in their last 15. They were even struggling a little bit before that. San Antonio's kind of had the best of it against the number against the Timberwolves for sure. Minnesota's covered 6 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams, including 5 overall, but here in here in Minnesota also, Minnesota just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 games, but a little bit different context, I think, here right now with the way San Antonio is headed. Minnesota's back on a winning streak again. They've won 4 in a row here right now. So for Minnesota, they're not great as at home. We know that 11-19 against the spread, 19-29 as a favorite, but San Antonio's got poor spread numbers as well, including 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games overall. So I'm going to end up here on the Minnesota Timberwolves to blow out San Antonio today. I've got the Wolves to keep it going and crush here. And Cash Kane likes the Wolves on the money line. Robert likes the Wolves with me here to cover. And Terrell wants to see the Cavs and Bucks meet in the playoffs. All right, not much from you guys on that one. Let me do a couple more. This is a good game, the sneaky good game of the night. Pistons and Trailblazers here in this one with the Pistons favored on the road here. But look, we love what the Pistons are doing, right? I mean, it's great, but it's getting a little bit tough here on the road right now on a back-to-back. Did not look great in that game last night against the Warriors, right? Yeah, we took the Pistons. What was the final in that? For some reason I didn't write it down. 115-110. So good job. It actually could have been a push there for a lot of people. I did take credit for the win. Let me make sure I cover this, you guys. I didn't do it on the monologue here. So Team Steam Consensus had last night the Detroit Pistons. You guys had them. I had them yesterday. We did have a lot of nice winners actually yesterday. We had New Orleans and Houston here on the show to go over. Team Steam Consensus, you guys had the Houston Rockets yesterday. Also Atlanta, Team Steam Consensus winner yesterday. Great job by the Hawks yesterday. Also, I had a premium pick winner, Bulls and Heat game to go under. I had a premium pick winner, Magic and Bulls game to go over. Also, I had a premium pick winner, Pistons Warriors game to go under as I went 3-1 with my sports money premium picks in the NBA over on Winnable. But we both had the Pistons here yesterday. Also, like I said, Team Steam had the Pistons there, but back-to-back against a Portland team that is quite frankly playing terrific and winning all their home games, it seems like right now. So Portland did lose their final games of the road trip that they were on, but now they're coming back home. Yeah, it's their first game back from the road trip here, but it feels like a little bit tough position for the Pistons here against a Detroit team that has been playing terrific despite what happened in those last 2 games of the road trip. I feel like they may have been just run out of gas because certainly the Blazers have been hot, hot, hot here. So I'm going to end up playing the total in this game. Portland is 18-12 to the over at home this season. And I think if, Portland here on the back-to-back, Detroit has kind of been going under in some of this in this role, but let's go to the chat here and see if anybody's got anything here in this one. Here's Action Jackson. He likes this one under one. What is that? Under. Oh, it's probably 230. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. Action Jackson. Dirty Reg. Me too, Dirty Reg. I did not do well in the UFC. Maybe I should have been listening to those guys on the show last night. And Trisha had a big one on the show. Wow, great. Elliot, nice to see you. Thank you, Elliot. Okay. Yeah, man. Okay. I didn't cover that one. Thank you. But yeah, we saw the writing on the wall there a little bit, huh? All right. You could say that again. And Trevor Davis is here today as well. Okay. All right. I'm on the over, though. Sorry, Robert. I'm on the over here. The Steam came in on the over here in this one. I'll take the over. The first game went to 233 points right on the number, but it went over by 9 points, and they played Detroit back in January. Detroit won that game, but did not cover. And, okay. Portland's on the first game of a back-to-back, by the way. All right. Let's get one more here, and then we're going to go to the hockey and get done with it and get on out. A little bit tired, right? I didn't, we lost an hour of sleep, so. Okay, Kings and Clippers here tonight with the Clippers favored by 6.5. And the total here, 221. In this one, we've seen some movement here in this total for sure. It's all the way down to 217 here right now. Wow. Big time move on some widely reported steam here in this one as it keeps moving lower. All right, let's get to it here. This series has gone under in 5 straight meetings. The Kings have been pretty hot here of late. They did bounce back from the loss to Denver to beat San Antonio. They've been covering left and right now. The Kings are on a pretty long cover streak at this point. Clippers have won and covered their last 2 games at home against Detroit and the Knicks as they kind of repaired the damage a little bit from a road trip. They were failed to cover in 8 straight games before these last 2 games. Clippers still 22-9 against the spread at home. Hey, here's a little bit of college steam coming in real quick. Incarnate Word, Southeast Louisiana steam to the under here was 139 all the way down to 137 here right now. Steam to the under in the matchup between Incarnate Word and Southeast Louisiana in that Southland game. All right, let's take a look here. Sacramento, they've covered the spread now in 6 straight games coming into this one, but the Clippers here still, like I said, kind of recovering a little bit. Clippers still strong at home, 13-3 against the spread at home in their last 16 games, 19-5 against the spread in their last 24 games overall. But Sacramento covering well here as well right now. Last meeting, Clippers won it back in November, 104-88. They also won at Sacramento, 107-98. Got some injuries for sure. Malik Monk still going to miss this one. Sabonis is out. Jay Crowder questionable. Norman Powell out of this one for the Clippers. So Look, those are some big names certainly out for Sacramento right now, but they're still doing a great job covering the spread every time. So I'm going to try them here with these points against the Clippers. Kings doing a great job covering the spread right now. I do like that under. I'm still considering using it as a premium, but the value may have left the building. I just got to leave it open here a little bit, see if we can still go with it here, but big 4-point move. Maybe that should have been the pick here on the show, but I'm going to take the Kings +6 against the Clippers. All right. Cash Kane likes the Kings in this
Final.
one on the money line. Elliott says Kings and under. Robert says take those Clippers. Terrell says Clippers. Double digits. Cash Kane says Harden just went for 50, so he takes the next game off. And Jermaine says, without Storm and Norman, that's going to be trouble for the Clippers. And he's missed a couple of games here now. That's it for NBA. Let's get to the hockey here right now with an 8-game card.
Final.
And have a great sports betting day. Great tennis, huh? Out at Indian Wells. Saw Novak Djokovic lose yesterday. Looked like he was going to lose the whole way there. But like I said, a wide open tournament, it feels like right now. On both the men's and the ladies' side. Okay, let's roll with it here in our matchups with, fire up the goalie computer here. The Devils and the Flyers here in this one, with the Devils on the road in our early start game on Sunday, 1 Eastern and 10 Pacific here. Look, this is a Devils series for sure. This one on TNT, but this is all Devils, I'm pretty sure. When these two teams meet right now, the Devils have long been getting the best of the Flyers here for several years right now. In this series, the Devils here, let me make sure of this. I'm sorry. Okay, let me make sure I get the storyline straight here. Philly has won 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams. Let me get it clear here. I was going off the top of my head, but Philadelphia, this is the issue for Philadelphia here. They've lost 18 straight home games when playing on a back-to-back as an underdog here. So I don't know. For me, I think I like the New Jersey Devils here in this game. Both teams come in on 3-game losing streaks here right now. New Jersey lost to Winnipeg, Dallas, and Vegas, but still Philadelphia 14-30 straight up as an underdog. New Jersey 18-14 straight up on the road. And I'm going to take New Jersey here on the road to win this one over Philadelphia here in this one. Let's see what you guys have. Philadelphia's lost 4 of their last 5 games. New Jersey has gone under in 26 of their last 37. Philadelphia has gone under in 7 of their last 10 games overall right now. And from the chat, let's see what you got here. Anything? Flyers money line for Jermaine. Irish King missed the start of the show. Did anybody, when they had like their jobs as teenagers, purposefully show up on the time change day and say, "Oh, I overslept," when you really didn't oversleep? You just didn't want to go to work an hour. You could figure I could sleep an extra hour and just say, "Hey, I overslept." When you had maybe a job like at the sandwich shop or the bar, or what were some other fast food job? Maybe you guys weren't like me growing up. All right, Robert, going with the under here. And there's none. He said he liked what I had to say about this. I think what I said about this one with New Jersey and Philadelphia. Yeah, I think that was a some trends really need, no context, right? You've got, um, you know, a Philadelphia team playing on the back-to-back after that game against the Kraken yesterday, and they're an underdog. 18 straight losses in that role. So, hey, we did have some great picks here yesterday. We started slowly for sure, but then picked it up big time here on the show. We had Florida Panthers on the puck line as a winner here on the show. We had the Colorado Avalanche. They came back big time in that game against Toronto. We had yesterday Blues and Kings game to go under here. We also had the Chicago Blackhawks on the puck line against the Predators. We also had a premium pick winner on the under there in that one. Also, we had the Islanders on the road as a big favorite, but that's okay. We took them anyways over the Sharks. And we also had the Stars and the Oilers game to go over yesterday here on the show. And Jimmy goes with the Devils on the puck line. All right, give me the Devils. Next up is the Penguins on the road here against the Wild. In this one, and you've got a Penguins team that's lost 4 straight. They're absolutely dismal on the road here, but man, they're looking to shake out of it here against the Wild team that, well, they're not exactly profitable at home either. I'll tell you this, the Sharps love the Penguins today. The old Sharp machine over here is screaming at me to take the Pittsburgh Penguins in this game, but man, I don't know if I can do it. Handicappers are kind of on the Penguins here in this one, so a lot of attention from expert bettors here, it feels like, on the Penguins today. People are starting to get down a little bit on some of the Wild performances here of late. We know that they just lost last game to Vancouver a couple of nights ago, but they did win over Seattle and Boston before that. We didn't even talk about the trades there with Boston and some of these other teams, but Pittsburgh, absolutely dreadful, 16-33 as an underdog. But I promise you, this line is being held down because the Sharps are coming in on Pittsburgh, and quite frankly, they're not usually wrong in a matchup like this. So let's see what you guys want to do here with Pittsburgh. I guess I could try to formulate it with some statistics rather than saying just trust me on this one, but I'll probably just end up on the under with Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Pittsburgh's gone under in 8 of their last 10 games overall. Minnesota's 11-16 to the under at home. So I'm going to take the under here in this one with Pittsburgh and Minnesota. Go to the chat, though, and see what you guys have in this one with Pittsburgh and Minnesota today. Here we go with Robert. He likes the Penguins and the over here in this one. Pittsburgh's won 9 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams, but you got to overcome how badly Pittsburgh has been playing here of late. 7 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Minnesota's won just 1 of the last 4 meetings at home against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's costing you well over a third of a unit per game when betting them on the road. Minnesota's slightly a loser at home for the most part, but here we go with Cash Canes on the Wild. Jimmy D likes Wild on the puck line. College Station here, Minnesota in the under, it looks like. Cash Cane says these games are important for the Wild considering their current record of 36-23. It feels like they're in okay position, but I think Cash Cane likes the Wild here in this one. I'm taking the under here, Pittsburgh and Minnesota. All right, next up, Seattle and Washington. the Kraken on the road here right now. They are plus $2 in this one against the Capitals here, who won 3 straight games once again and are heating up. Capitals with wins over Detroit, Rangers, and Ottawa here. They just beat Detroit 5-2 last time out. Seattle off of a win here yesterday over Philadelphia. We mentioned that game. It was 4-1 in favor of Seattle on the road, but they're on the back-to-back here in this one against the Capitals. I'm just going to take the Capitals. I'm not going to get into it too much here. I'm going to take the Capitals to roll Seattle here in this one. Give me the Caps. Seattle may have trouble scoring. They may get 1 goal in this game, it feels like today. Maybe I could rattle off a few numbers here with the Capitals, but I don't know if it matters. 10 of the last 13 games for Washington have gone over. Maybe we can look at the total a little bit right now with the Capitals. For Seattle here, they are 18-22 to the under as an underdog, but they've gone over in 4 of the last 5. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone under. I'm going to take the Capitals here on the puck line. Jim's on the Kraken. College Station says Capitals and under. The Jets are taking on the Hurricanes in this one, and the Jets are favored here. No, the Hurricanes are favored. $1.30, 5.5 over at -115. For Winnipeg, they have won 2 straight coming in. They beat New Jersey 6-1. They beat Philly 4-1. 4th game of the road trip here for the Jets. Carolina, 3-game winning streak here right now with wins over Boston, Detroit, and Calgary. Although they were all just 1-goal wins. Hurricanes just getting it done. They've gone 24-7 at home this season, one of the best records in the league at home. But Winnipeg, 7-2-1 in their last 10 games overall. And not only that, they've also gone 21-11 straight up on the road as Bournemouth has just scored a goal here. 2-0 over Tottenham. All right, for Winnipeg here, 16-5 straight up in their last 21. Carolina's won 4 of their last 5. Winnipeg's gone under in 6 of their last 7 games. Carolina's gone under in 5 of their last 6 games overall coming into this one. So we're ready here as a good game for sure here. 2 good teams, Winnipeg and Carolina. Hellebuck and Anderson is what I've got. Oh, I don't even have Anderson. I think it's Anderson. I'm going to check here real quick, but I'm going to type his name in here anyway. Plug in the breaking news computer here just in case. All right, there we go. Yeah, I've got Anderson, I think, listed here in this one. So let's see what some of the sites have Kashetkov, I think, listed. But I've got Anderson right now. So Carolina winners of 3 straight. The Jets with 2 consecutive wins, as I said. Let's go to the chat. We've got, there's Irish King. He liked Washington there. Looks like Juan's here. He's a little behind us. Robert's got the under here in this one. College Station says Winnipeg and over. I'm taking Winnipeg here on the road to beat Carolina today. Give me the Jets in a bit of an upset here in this one. Winnipeg's won 3 straight meetings, including the first one back in February, 3-0 at home. So I'm going to take Winnipeg in this one. Jimmy's on the Canes. Couple more here as we roll with our hockey coverage. Next up, it's the Rangers at home against the Blue Jackets here in this one. And, well, you know, the Blue Jackets haven't exactly been the team they are at home as they are on the road, but the Rangers have been pretty crummy at home too this season. they are 16-13. That's pretty good, but they're not profitable at home for sure. Meanwhile, Columbus just 10-18 on the road here. And well, you know what? The price isn't still good enough here with these two teams, almost identical records. Columbus 30-24-8. Rangers 31-26-6. Coming into this one, these two teams met in February. Rangers won at 4-3 at Columbus. They also won at home 1-0 back in January, as the Rangers have won 3 straight in the series here. But Quick in goal today. He's 9-5-2 with a 2.91 goals against. Elvis here, 3 goals against. I'm taking the Blue Jackets to win here. I was hoping for a little better price. I was going to go premium here, but it didn't quite work out. And the Rangers are only $1.35 at the highest spot. So at a plus $1.15, I'm taking the Columbus Blue Jackets in this one over the Rangers today. And let's see here. Nuke says he's going with Corey Connors to win today at the Arnie. And I think I'm just sticking, I've got one player that has a chance from my original picks, Nuke, and that would be Tony Finau. He's pretty far back. You look at this leaderboard here currently. Yeah, probably just stick to those leaders close to it and, kind of take one of those guys and roll with it, I think, there. I don't think I can get my guy Finau, but I'll roll with him and see if he can get close enough to hedge it a little bit. His odds weren't too bad going in, so I ended up here on I'm on Finau, I guess, today with my original picks. All right, Juan's with me on Columbus, and so's Robert. We're on Columbus here, the 3 of us. All right, couple more here right now. The Kings are going to take on the Golden Knights in this one. The Kings on the road here against the Golden Knights, favorite $1.75, $1.80, $1.85 here. Golden Knights have won 4 straight. And, well, look, they're on fire at home. The Kings are not good on the road, 12-17. Vegas, 24-6 at home coming into this one. But, oh, man, steep price even to lay here on the show. I wouldn't. I try to measure it a little bit and say, I got to go with a pick here and there or whatever. I think Vegas will be able to win this one. Can they blow out the Kings? They just might today. I'm going to take the Vegas Golden Knights on the puck line here against the Kings tonight. Vegas 28-22 is a puck line favorite. That's not terrible. The Kings are 15-9 as a puck line dog. I'm going to take the Golden Knights here with, I think, Aiden Hill is what I've got listed here right now against Rittich. So Hill, 23-10 with a 2.5 goals against average. We're seeing some steam here right now in college basketball in our early game between Michigan and Michigan State. The total is being steamed right now over 147. It was 147. It's now up to 148. Michigan and Michigan State. Couple more here on the ice. Oh, we got some comments from you guys on the Kings game here real quick. Oh, look, I think Thomas said Columbus was a consensus play. Thank you, Thomas. Wow, you guys are on a dog here with me. I would have switched to the total and got us another play, but let me roll with Columbus here. I need some premiums today. And I think I like the total there pretty strong. So, all right, let's see here. College Station, Kings and under. Cash Kane with the Kings. Robert says no goal in the first 10. Johnny Walker's here. Johnny, thank you. Johnny was a winner of our consensus. And I think I sent him $18. I don't think it was that much, but you know what? He was so patient and a great supporter of the show, Johnny Walker. Thank you, Johnny, for great correspondence there, and you deserved it. It was just about the winning, really, and getting to chat with you there, and you had some great poignant comments as well. Thank you very much. Juan here says VGK in the under, and I think that might be it in this one with the Kings and the Golden Knights. Let's go to a couple more here. A couple more and the show will be over. We've got the Islanders taking on the Ducks tonight. Ducks at home here in a near pick'em game with the Islanders. Go with the backup goalie in this one. Come on, man. The Islanders here. Look, they're playing well right now. They've won 4 of their last 5 coming in. They have wins over San Jose and Winnipeg, but Anaheim. They've lost 2 straight, but they hang in there every time. It almost seems like they get the puck line every time right now. They're an amazing 41-17 on the puck line. The Islanders, a dismal 10-21 as a puck line favorite, but this one's about the money line with it closely rated here tonight between these two, Islanders and the Ducks. And while you might consider the teams to be under teams for sure, the Ducks are 22-34 to the under as an underdog. I'm going to end up on the over in this game here with the Islanders and the Ducks
Final.
here in this one. I'm taking the over of tonight between these two. Now, New York, they've gone under in 7 straight games when playing as a back-to-back, and they're favored. They still are favored here. I don't know if they'll go off the favorite. I guess they will. But for me, I'm going to end up on the over here with, in this game, the Islanders coming in with their backup here in goal tonight. So for me, give me the over here in this one. Let me make sure I got this right. The total here currently at, it's 6. So let me fix it. I think the move is indicative here. That was a steep over there, that 5.5, but for the most part, it's 6. I'll grade it at 6 right now. Might be shaded to the under, but grade me at 6 flat. Got to go with it here. I already made the call, and I like it over here, but I think the Ducks are going to find their way to maybe a premium here today. I might like the Ducks tonight. See what we got here with, hey, if it ain't foreign, it's Boren's in here. Thank you. Nice to see you. If it ain't foreign, it's Boren. And
Critical notice.
Ducks alternate line for Cash Kane. Juan Padilla likes the Ducks. And I think that might be. Oh, Robert likes the Ducks here as well. All right. One more tonight. And the show will be over. They took off that Bournemouth goal, by the way. Napoli scored a second goal here on Fiorentina. Sharks, Stars, and Canucks here in this one with the Stars. Casey DeSmith expected in goal tonight against the Canucks here in this one for the Stars. They are favored $1.35 here right now, and the total 5.5 over 20 says $1.45 there on screen, but mostly no higher than $1.40. I better change it. At least put $1.40 up there. Total 5.5 over minus 120, 125 here in this one with the Canucks at home. Look, the Canucks do not play well at home money-wise. They are just 13-10 at home. They've cost you 0.43 units per game. It's one of the worst home money records around. Dallas, meanwhile, they're about a break-even proposition on the road, but they are 37-16 as a favorite. Vancouver just 13-20 at home. But again, looks like the backup goalie in here tonight for the Stars and for Lankinen here, 22-10 with a 2.58 goals against. The Smith still 11-6 with a 2.5 goals against average coming into this one. These two teams met back on January 31st. It was Dallas 5-3 at home in their only meeting so far this season. So let's see what you've got here in our final game between Dallas and Vancouver here tonight. I know the Sharps are probably going to favor Vancouver here in this one. And I don't know, as an underdog, I might be tempted to do it as well. Give me the Vancouver Canucks here in this one as an underdog, plus money here tonight. I'll take Vank. But I definitely like the total here in this game. So, okay, let's see here. The props here. Thank you, College Station. Thank you, everybody. Let's get ready for the drawing right now, shall we? First, don't forget, you can get some premium pick plays from me here today in. Now Bournemouth's got a goal here. This one will stand, I think. Check me out over at winnable.com. Get my plays for today's action in college basketball, NBA, NHL, and hey, I'll have some other sports in there as well. If you go to my free subscription over on Winnable, I've got my NASCAR action, my top 6 drivers for today. Now, look, I've got an 80-1 in there. If you want to see who it is, head on over to winnable.com. Now, I wouldn't put, a little bit on him to win, but I do like this particular driver in some of his other possible propositions, like a top 20. You got an 80-1. Make sure you're playing him in the top 20, maybe even the top 10 or so. I don't know if he'll get top 5, but I've got a long shot today I like in the NASCAR, and I'm kind of fading the very top, but I'm going right down to kind of drivers number maybe 3, 4, and 5 a little bit, 3, 4, and some in the top 10 there. So check me out over at winnable.com/Ramon. Click that QR code in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. All right, let's go right now to the action here with the drawing and our consensus parlay. We're ready to go. You guys have typed some things in the chat. We've got five-teamer here on the consensus. Colgate, Northern Alabama, VMI, Cleveland Cavaliers, and Columbus. Here we go with the drawing. Let's see who wins. Joseph, AOD, Donut, Jim, If It Ain't Foreign, It's Boring, Nuke, Dirty, Joe, Mr. Tomatoes, Dark Knight, College Station, Oldie. It feels like Oldie's won more than anybody, and he's never won the actual cash. So let's hope Oldie gets it. He's such a great supporter. Even when he's busy, comes in here, types something in the chat. I think that is absolutely incredible that he does that. And we ended up with 75 of you in here today. Look, the Sunday goes better, usually more, but hey, we had the time change. So really appreciate everybody joining me here on the Morning Steam Show. Thank you very much. We'll be back here tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, with more Morning Steam. I'll be back here with the previews of more college basketball action on Monday for sure. We're going to get rolling here with another week of college ball and also our NBA and NHL. And, well, we're just 11 days away from Major League Baseball, I think, right? So thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining me on the show for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.